saw this story going viral rather quickly over on X. It's the UK-based Iranian activist, dissident, and outspoken opponent of Hamas and the Iranian regime. His name is Nayak Gorbani. I don't think I pronounced his first or his last name correctly, but I apologize, Nayak, if I said it wrong. I wasn't actually aware of this guy until this story started going relatively viral and realized that he is, well, a hero to many. And lots of people were quite shocked at what happened the other day with him being violently, viciously attacked by a pro-Palestinian mob, and he was rushed to hospital. What was his crime? Some of you may be wondering. His crime was for speaking out for a free, democratic Iran and condemning the racial or radical Islam in all its forms. This is the state of Britain today, where radical Islamists feel emboldened to attempt to murder peaceful activists in broad daylight before our very eyes. Now, that all being said, my friends, we have the March for Australia protest going on August 31st. It's nationwide, so you've got different cities. There will be different locations announced, and I think there's one location in Sydney. And I had a problem with the date. When I first heard the date and the location, I'm going, well, if you guys really want to do a proper protest, maybe choose a different date, because I do know there's a lot going on in different cities on August 31st. And namely, the biggest marathon in Australia is taking place, the first major marathon. It's going to cause problems, especially when the organizers find out about this. There's going to be a heavy police presence. So if the organizers of the March for Australia protest are watching this or listening to it, I don't think it's wise to have the protest on the 31st of August, mainly because you're going to get counter protests turning up in town hall. You're going to have hundreds of thousands of people there already, and it's not going to be good, considering you guys are probably going to get the blame. Not the pro-Palestinian mob, but you guys. So if you guys want to have a peaceful protest and actually accomplish what you're setting out to accomplish, then I would choose to do it on a different day, not the marathon day, considering you're going to have a high police presence. You're going to have the organizers not happy, and they're going to try their very best to put an end to it already. So you may be better off doing it on the weekend after. I don't know. Okay. I'm just putting that out there. I think ordinarily I would definitely be there and definitely march for Australia, because I think that's a good thing. I think what the March for Australia is signifying is all positive. Just like what I thought this Iranian activist, Nayak Gorbani, was doing, along with many others. He's doing a good thing. But nowadays, you can't actually speak out for the truth, because these radicals, they hate your guts. They want to end your life. And Gorbani has been hospitalized now as a result of this vicious attack. There's a photo that is circulating of this Islamist grabbing the throat and trying to tear out the guy's Adam's apple, or just try to tear out his throat. That should send chills down everyone's spine. The fact that this Iranian activist wants a free, Islamist-free, I might add, Iran, is saying something. The fact that these pro-Palestinian nutjobs, these Islamists, think that they're allowed to or able to almost kill somebody in the street that is having a protest is honestly insane. And that's another reason why I'm cautious about these counter-protests happening with the March for Australia, especially on the marathon day, because the media, like they did with this, they will spin everything and they'll make actual Australians that are there for peace and there for standing up for Australia, they'll make us look out to be like we're the enemy when we're not. So perhaps doing it on a different day when a major event's not taking place, maybe a better idea. I don't know. But anyway, during a peaceful pro-Israel gathering in London, a Muslim supporter of Hamas attacked and singled out an Iranian, the Iranian activist. These hooligans live in London, ladies and gentlemen. A group of anti-Israel, pro-Hamas and anti-Iranian terrorists, you can call them, separatists, have violently attacked Iranian patriot and monarchist activist Niak Gurbani, a steadfast and peaceful advocate for freeing innocent Israeli hostages. Gurbani has long championed the unity of Iranian and Israeli patriots, a unity that today's attackers attempted to silence. And thank God that he's all right. I have been seeing reports that, yes, he was hospitalized, but he's seemingly okay at the moment. It is quite concerning. If you want to have a protest nowadays, these radicals, there's so many of them. There's so much hatred, isn't there? I mean, a Jewish Orthodox man in Canada was attacked in broad daylight. There's attacks going on left, right, and center. If you are pro-Israel, you're pro-Australia, whatever it is, you are attacked and then condemned. But a pro-Palestinian, nah, they're praised. No one's attacking them. You know why? Because us, we're peaceful. We actually use our voices, not our fists. We don't get violent. Even the neo-nationalists or the Nazis that were marching in Melbourne at 1 o'clock in the morning, we live in a free Australia. While I don't agree with what they stand for, I'm all for people marching in the streets. While I think like it's going to not really accomplish things that are going to be good. You saw what the media did with them. And I think it's that the media just spins everything these days. It makes people, it just creates extremists, is what I'm saying. We've got extremists on both sides of the aisle. You've got extremists on the pro-Palestinian side and extremists on the other side. And you're going to end up having them clash because guaranteed those neo-Nazi folk or the ones that were leading the march down Melbourne streets, guaranteed if they clashed with the pro-Palestinian nut jobs, what do you think would happen with that? Just pointing that out. So because of these ideologies and a vast amount of hatred, you're going to create extremists on both sides of the aisle. And it's quite concerning to see in Australia. You know who's responsible for that? Our dingbat leaders. During times like this, our leaders will only side with a small little minority group that have the loudest voice rather than the majority. That's concerning to me. And it's that little minority group that can cause a great deal of problems for the majority. And it's thanks to our dingbat leaders. Same thing happened in the UK, and look what happened. The Iranian activist was attacked senselessly by a Muslim activist that wanted him dead. They cannot stand the pro-Israel message. They think that a way to silence them completely is to kill them, have them no more. That is concerning. What's going on in the UK? The UK's fallen. Australia's next. We're already down the same path as the UK, man. And if we're not careful, if we're not wise about these sorts of things, it's going to cause more division. So while I'm all for people protesting, I'm asking for people to be wise, especially with the dates, knowing events, and knowing the media. Be wise, please. I understand you want to take back Australia. Take it back. Protest. We have a right in Australia so far to do that. But watch. Watch, learn, and know. Otherwise, the division is going to cause more problems. Anyway, if you are there on August 31st, Town Hall in Sydney, if the guys decide to go ahead with it, I will do my best to turn up after my marathon, after my race. So if you guys follow this and you are in Sydney and you know, maybe you won't recognize me. Maybe that's a good thing. Might keep me safe. But anyway, that all being said, man, you guys take care. You be blessed. And I'll see you all in the next video.